Here's something nobody talks about: you are worth more money alone than you ever were with other people. And industries know this. They've built entire business models around it. This isn't a conspiracy. No CEO sat in a meeting and said, "Let's make humanity lonely for profit." But what they did say is this: how do we make money from people spending more time by themselves? And once you see it, you can't unsee it. We live in the most connected time in human history. Billions of people online. Instant messaging. Video calls. AI assistants that respond to you 24/7. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yet loneliness is at an all-time high. A recent study found that over 60% of adults in developed countries report feeling lonely regularly. Some research suggests it's even higher for young people. So we have a paradox: more connection tools than ever before. More loneliness than ever before. The question nobody's asking is, what if those two things aren't a coincidence? What if our increasing isolation isn't a bug in the system? What if it's a feature? Let me show you how this works. Start with food delivery. 10 years ago, the idea of paying someone to bring you a meal because you didn't want to go out seemed wasteful. Today, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, they're valued in the tens of billions. Why? Because they make money when you eat alone. When you order food for one instead of inviting friends over. When cooking becomes optional and leaving the house becomes avoidable. That's not saying they invented loneliness. It's saying they built a business around the assumption that more people would rather eat alone at their desk than coordinate plans with others. And they were right. The lonelier society gets, the more valuable these services become. Now look at streaming. Netflix, Disney+, Apple TV. These services made billions by replacing the social experience of going to a theater with the solo experience of watching at home. Alone. In your room. With a show that's customized to your preferences specifically. No compromises. No negotiating what to watch. No sitting with another person. The incentive structure is clear: the more you watch alone, the more data they collect about you. The more targeted their ads become. The more valuable you are as a customer. A family of 4 watching together? That's worth less than 4 individuals watching separately, each generating their own engagement metrics, each with their own ad profile. Then there's dating apps. Match Group owns like 7 of them: Tinder, Hinge, OkCupid, Match. They're valued at over $40 billion. And here's the thing about their business model: they make money when people stay on the app, not when people leave the app to go on dates. Think about that. A successful date that leads to a relationship is actually bad for their business. Because if you find someone, you leave. You stop paying. You stop scrolling. You stop generating data. So what do? They optimize for engagement, not connection. They show you just enough promising profiles to keep you hoping. They match you with people who are slightly out of reach. They sprinkle in the occasional "your match liked you" a notification to pull you back in. You're paying for the feeling of possibility, not the reality of connection. And the lonelier you are, the more you'll pay for that feeling. Now look at AI companions. This is the newest frontier. Companies like Replika and Character.ai have created AI chatbots that you can talk to anytime. They remember your preferences. They're always available. They never leave you. They never disappoint you. Millions of people are using these. Some paying hundreds a month for premium versions of digital friends. And why wouldn't they? Real friends flake. Real friends get busy. Real friends might reject you. And AI never does any of that. The business model is obvious: the lonelier you are, the more you'll pay for a friend that never leaves. It's brilliant. It's also tragic. But here's where it gets more subtle. Look at social media. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, they're not charging you money. But they're making billions. How? By replacing community with content. By replacing conversation with consumption. You used to gather in public spaces, town squares, coffee shops, gyms, third places where you'd run into people and have unexpected interactions. Now you stay home. You scroll. You watch videos. You get your social interaction from a feed. You feel like you're connecting, but you're just consuming content created by strangers. You're getting dopamine hits from likes and comments. You're performing for an audience instead of talking with friends. And all of that generates data. All of that is tracked. All of that is monetized. Look at e-commerce too. Amazon isn't just a store. It's become a replacement for going outside. Instead of walking through your neighborhood, discovering local shops, running into people you know, you order everything online. Alone. In your home. While an algorithm learns exactly what you want before you know you want it. We created a system where being alone is more convenient than being together. And when being alone is more convenient, businesses profit. But here's the psychological part that most people miss: loneliness itself becomes the fuel for more consumption. When you're lonely, what do? You scroll. You order food. You subscribe to another streaming service. You download a dating app. You pay for an AI companion. You impulse buy things you don't need because buying something, even from a faceless company, still feels like you're doing something. Like you're taking action. That's not accidental. The companies know this. They know that loneliness drives engagement. They know that isolated people scroll more, buy more, stay longer, come back more often. So they've optimized for that. The recommendation algorithms are designed to be just addictive enough that you keep coming back. The checkout process is frictionless. The notification system is engineered to exploit FOMO and the fear of missing out. The social comparison on platforms is baked in because comparison creates anxiety and anxiety drives engagement. Loneliness creates vulnerability. Vulnerability creates consumption. Consumption creates profit. The loop repeats. And the thing that's insane is that these systems are also creating the conditions for more loneliness. Remote work means you're not commuting. You're not running into colleagues for coffee. You're not going to after-work drinks. You're saving time and money, but you're losing the accidental social interactions that used to happen automatically. Urbanization pulled people away from tight-knit communities and into cities full of strangers. You're surrounded by millions of people and have never spoken to any of them. Smaller households mean you live alone or with a partner instead of with extended family. Delayed marriage means you're spending more years of your life as a single person. And all of this means more time looking for connection in the places where it's most profitable to provide it: apps, services, and platforms. These aren't conspiracies. These are just incentives. Economic incentives that reward companies for understanding that modern life is increasingly isolating and for building services around that isolation. The opposite of loneliness isn't more apps. It's not a better AI companion or a more sophisticated dating algorithm. The opposite of loneliness is more people. It's actually showing up. It's calling someone instead of texting. It's leaving your house. It's having a meal with someone else even if it's less convenient. It's joining a club or a gym or a church or anything where you actually see the same people more than once. I'm not saying delete your apps. I'm not saying go live in a commune. I'm saying this: be aware of the incentive structure. Understand that convenience is often a trap. Understand that many of the products you use are profitable specifically because you're alone. And then make a choice anyway. This week, do one thing that's less convenient but more social. Call a friend instead of texting. Go to a coffee shop instead of getting delivery. Invite someone over. Join something. Show up somewhere. Because the companies are betting that you won't. They're betting that staying home is easier. They're betting on your loneliness being profitable. Be the person they lose money on.